Good morning, all gorgeous ones. How are you today? It's a Tuesday morning. It's September the 14th, 2010, just gone 11 o'clock in the morning. If that's the time where you are now, then you are with us live. A very good morning to you. Or you could be watching us on a recording. If so, it doesn't matter. You can still join in. We have an email address to the show. The email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Good morning to you then. My name's Chris Reardon. Sorry, those of you that collect the shows via iTunes. There was a problem yesterday with the iTunes notified to me by the great Ian Duff, who has become a regular correspondent, not just to this show, but all the others. We thank your joining in-ness. We thank your contributions, because often we don't realise something that has gone wrong before someone actually tells us. So it is always appreciated if someone notices there's something wrong, and then just fire off an email to me here, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and we'll sort it out. Anyway, for some strange reason, do you know, old Wayne told me to hit the record button and I didn't. See, that you're too early again, Wayne. Too early again. You told me at 4 minutes to 11. It's too early to tell me to hit the record button, because in that 4 minutes, I've forgotten again. Anyway, it's done now. It's done now. Don't worry. It's done now. Just a little bit too early, my love, all right? Yeah, for some reason, all the shows disappeared from iTunes completely, which is a bit odd, really. And I went on there. I got back last night from work at Belushis in Hammersmith, where I do the karaoke. Oh, my God, it was packed in there last night. It was packed. And guess what? What happens to clubs and pubs when it's very busy and quite warm outside? That's right. The air conditioning breaks down, doesn't it? It's actually been broken down for a few days now. My God, I was so hot in there last night. My back and my chest was sweating. And little beads of sweat were rolling down from me. I have no doubt in my mind, you know, if this was like 30 years ago, or maybe not 30 years ago, probably 10 years ago. If this was 10 years ago, people would have been running over to me, hoping to have a little taste of my sweat on their tongues. I'm sure they would have, you know. People are like that. They do. They like licking people's sweat. I mean, the cat likes that for some reason. I've noticed that. If I've been doing something a little bit hot, and then she comes and sits on my lap, and she starts licking my hand. Ow, 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 ow. She does. Anyway, news of cats and garden news as well today. Can we get back on the subject, please? Thank you very much. I've forgotten what I was talking about now. Oh, yeah, the iTunes. So I came back from work and logged onto the iTunes myself, and then sure enough, United Kingdom Radio was there, but all the shows had disappeared, and I don't know why that happened. I really don't. I emailed the people who host the podcasts, okay, and they said they'd have a look at it, and I've gone to bed, got up this morning, logged on, and they're all back again, all right? So those of you that get the shows by iTunes, it's all working now. There is a subscribe button if you ever want to subscribe to any of the shows here on United Kingdom Talk, or rather United Kingdom Radio. Simply go to the main United Kingdom Radio website, unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. Click on and there you will see subscribe to iTunes there. Okay, a little thing at the bottom of the page or something like that, all right? Or, of course, you can manually download the podcasts from the download podcast section, all right? If you're watching or listening to a recording of this show, you can, in fact, watch it live or listen live by going to unitedkingdomradio.co.uk on Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 11 o'clock UK time, or Saturday afternoons at 3 o'clock UK time, unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. And if you ever want to watch any of the old shows or you miss anything, that's simple as well. Slightly different website address for this particular show. You can find them all at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, I did say then that I'm here Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, but not next Tuesday. I'm having a mini break, boys and girls. I'm having a mini break going to my dear, dear long-suffering sister who lives in Woodall Spa in Lincolnshire. I'm going up there after work on Saturday night for only just a couple of days, really. My friend's coming round here to look after the cats. Oh, yeah, it's very good. Very good. My best friend Ronnie's coming over here to look after the cat. And he might be bringing his cats as well. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Okay, because he's got 2 kittens. Oh, which have been renamed, apparently. They're no longer called D&G. Now, what did he say they're called? Viceroy and something else, I think it was. Gee, I can't remember what he said they were called now. Is it V and Viceroy and something else, maybe? I can't remember. I don't remember what he's called his cats now at all. But anyway, he's got 2 very young kittens. They're only a couple of months old, if that. And my cat is about 12 or 13 years old. And I wonder if that's going to work or not. Bit concerned. I'm probably glad that I'm not actually going to be here. Yeah. So he's going to look after the cat while I'm away and feed the cat. Or if he goes out at all, I've got one of those. I've got a timer thing. I've got a cat feeder. Have you seen one of these things? Oh, they're wonderful. There's 2 different types. One is like a circular thing with separate compartments for the food. Right? And the idea is you open so many packets of food, you put them in the compartments, then you put the lid on. And it turns round very slowly. I think you can have up to 4 days worth of food in this thing. And it's so slow that you can't see it turning. You know, it works by battery. It's not wind up or anything like that. And every few hours, say every 6 hours or 9 hours, whatever you set it for, a new compartment is revealed, boys and girls, and more food is provided for your beloved pussies. It really is. We need to keep our pussies well fed. They don't like it when they go empty. Make sure your pussies are well fed. And you can buy one of these. If you go to a pet shop, they're not particularly cheap. I think they're about £40, $80. However, you know the favourite place to go, boys and girls, eBay. You will find. Let's see if they've got any on eBay now, and I shall inform you of the price. One moment, please. Searching for information for friends and listeners. eBay.co.uk. One moment. What should we call it? Cat feeder, I suppose. Cat feeder. Aha! There we are. It's a 6-day thing. 6-day automatic digital cat and pet holiday feeder bowl. £27.99. It's probably a cheaper one than that. 1 minute. £26.99. No, it's going down all the time. Going down all the time. Ooh! There's one here for £3. Is it a second-hand one? We can't have my pussy here eating out of second-hand bowls. Just a oh yes, item is used. It is used. In pristine actually, I'm going to bid for that. I'm going to bid for that. Oh, hang on, £6.50 postage and packaging. Oh God, why is it so dear? Can't we collect it? So that's really good. There is one. Anyone got a cat? If you've got a cat, right, and you do go away for no more than 3 or 4 days at a time, you can only do it for about 3 or 4 days, there is a automatic cat feeder right now on eBay with the starting bid at £2.99 and £6.50 postage and packaging, a total cost of £9.49. Did you notice how quickly I added that up in my... Oh, yeah, don't make mistakes when it comes to money, dear. You know, if I ever lend you any money, which is unlikely, okay, I will remember. It's no use thinking to yourself, oh, he'll forget. No, I won't. Okay? Someone 10 years ago upset me very much. Ripped me off. I have not forgot. I don't forget. Absolutely not, dear. Right? But for £9.49, very good value. Anyone got a cat? If you want one of these, there's a used one on there. There's nothing wrong with it. It looks fairly good to me. Go on eBay, type in automatic, or what did I type in? Cat feeder. Type in cat feeder. and you will see a Catmate 4-day auto feeder on there. Starting bid of £2.99, postage and packaging £6.50, total price of £6, £9.49, dear. Very, very good value for money. Have you ordered it yet? I wonder if anyone will, actually. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that and see if anyone who watches or listens to this programme starts bidding on it now. There's only 1 day and 4 hours left on that one, my dears. Come on, get your bids in now. Perhaps eBay should do something like this, shouldn't they? Where you have some sad old man sitting in a room advertising their products. Going once at £2.99. Do we have any offers at £2.99? Come on now. Yep, that's it. You over there. They should have a bloke doing that, shouldn't they? Bit like that Bid Up TV. Do you ever watch that? Bid Up TV. I'm not quite sure how it works. I think what happens is that an item comes on the telly at a given price. Let's say £10, right? Okay. And then bids start coming in. And then the price seems to start going down. And it goes down and down and down. And then at the last moment, when everything's sold, everyone who's placed a bid, I think this is right, buys the item at the lowest price that it became. Is that right? Does anyone know that? It's all sounded very, very complicated to me. I mean, it's so much easier on QVC, to be honest, dear. Do you ever watch that? QVC. Well, they tell you the items that that are for sale, and you pay whatever it says. I mean, I can understand that, dear. I only ever bought one item from QVC, and that is my chiming garage clock from downstairs. Oh, it's wonderful. Do you want me to go and get it? Shall I go? All right, I'll go and get it. I actually thought about getting this thing into the studio here in the Mirable Studios, but I've never done it. Okay, now while I'm just getting that, I will just play you a couple of little bits and pieces here, my darlings. All right, so we don't have dead air. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get my carriage clock to show you from QVC. Back in a moment, thank you.
Thursdays from 8 p.m. on United Kingdom Radio is the Mouth of the Tyne. That's with me, your host, Mike Cullen. This is what we've been talking about so far.
I was quite impressed with the fact that you mentioned about this disabled kid going abroad to have sex with a prostitute. What was your thoughts on that?
Good on him, eh? Good on him.
Would you not feel the slightest bit of guilt, though?
What if I was disabled?
This is probably not politically correct to say this, but you know, they are standing there, sitting there, whatever, receiving taxpayers' money to go abroad to Amsterdam to engage in a sexual act with a prostitute. I mean, it's bad enough going to Amsterdam to know that you're going to have sex with a prostitute.
I know, it's unreal, isn't it?
Why has he been evicted?
Because he's only got 6 months left on his tenancy agreement.
If he's still got 6 months, he cannot be evicted.
Yeah, so he's got 6 months to go.
Not evicted, he will have to be rehoused in 6 months' time.
But they're not going to rehouse him, though, that's the thing.
They can't evict him. Unless he has his British tenancy agreement, they cannot evict him.
But that's what they're going to do, man. They're going to turf him out.
Oh, so they can't now because it's in the paper, so he's going to have loads of solicitors and things on his behalf.
Where in the United States are you at the moment?
Wait a minute. I got to peek out the window first. I don't see anything there. Okay. All right, the street's all clear. I always have to watch for, like, black vans with radio antennas before I answer questions like that. I'm up in the mountains, and we've already had our first snowfall. We're so high up here, the only time we're sober is on Christmas and Easter. Those are the 2 days we're required to be sober.
That sounds a bit like where I come from in the UK.
All that and more on the Mouth of the Tyne Thursdays on United Kingdom Radio from 8 p.m.
Do you know, I've just realised one of my clocks is a minute out, isn't it? That's just a minute. That's 11. Is it 11:15? And the one in front of me is saying, I know why that is, because it fell off last night. It fell off the. Oh dear, we're going to have to reset the clock now. Because that fell off yesterday. I was doing a little bit of work in here very early in the morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning. I think it was about, what time did we get back last night? About 2:15 in the morning. And the clock fell off, and now the hands are out of alignment. I wonder if I can reset this somehow. Just to make, because it is important to have the right time in front of me, because otherwise I won't have a blooming clue what's going on. Not that I've got a clue most of the time what's going on in here anyway. Let's try see what happens there. Is that going to work? Oh, I don't know, dear. Just a minute. I can't remember how this works now. Oh, that's... Well, the clock, when it's about to set, it starts going around quickly. So that should set itself in a minute. I have radio clocks in here, boys and girls. Radio clocks. There we are. I said clocks. Pay attention, will you? Right. Now, the only item I ever bought from QVC was a wonderful golden carriage clock. Now, this is coming up to 20 years old. It's plastic, okay? I think it's plastic anyway. Oh, actually, it's glass, is it? No, I think it's glass. And I can't remember what it cost me, but it's got the most marvellous chime on it. Although I didn't hear it chime a second ago. Did you hear that chime? Did it chime a minute ago or not? Maybe it's because it's wandering around. Anyway, so this is about 20 years old, and it keeps really, really good time. Can you hear it rattling away? Underneath, it's got like 4 balls that kind of go left and right all the time. I'm going to put it behind me, actually. Let's move some things. I've got some shelves behind me for some bits and pieces on there. I've always thought about bringing this into the studio, but I thought it might put you off if it keeps chiming every 15 minutes. Because it does chime every 15 minutes, but it's a pleasant chime. Oh, yes, that looks good up there. I must say, behind me is my mirror ball turning, and next to it, my silver mirror ball turning, my golden carriage clock, boys and girls. Not that I'm old enough to have one of those. I just want to point out, not that I am old enough to have a carriage clock, if you don't mind me saying so. Wayne, good morning, Wayne, in Norwich, says, what a nice shirt. Yes, I have a red and white and green and black and dark blue checked shirt on today, because I've got to look nice for later today. No, I'll tell you in a minute. Stop rushing me. I will tell you in a minute. Don't worry. Thank you. Good morning to Vicky Gannon. Good morning, great Vicky. A very close friend to the programme in New York, US of A. She's up early again. What's the time there now? 11, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. About 6 o'clock in the morning. Is it about 6:15 in the morning in New York? So you see, that's what you call dedication, boys and girls. And it's just a shame that some of you aren't as dedicated as our Vicky. I know, listening to the recordings because you can't be bothered to get up first thing in the morning. All you New Yorkers, the only one who's dedicated, I think, has got to be Vicky. I mean, Millie in Minnesota, now and again she's there, but she's not there every time, is it? Because she falls asleep. She's in the bed, and she falls asleep, boys and girls, because she stays up so late. I mean, it's not much to ask, is it, eh? Is it too much to ask for people to go to bed earlier on the nights before the show in New York and other parts of the world so that they can be up in time for this programme? Surely it's not too much to ask, eh? Anyway, Vicky writes, good morning, Chris. My cat, Toby, is also known as the Criminal Mastermind. We used to have a programme here called Mastermind. Great tune. Da 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 da, boom. Da 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 da, boom. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. With the great, who was it who used to do Mastermind? Oh, can't remember his name now. Not Bamba Gascoigne. Who used to do Magnus Magnusson, that was it. He was from Iceland, wasn't he? Magnus Magnusson. I mean, they have another bloke doing it now, but he's nowhere near as good. Not as good as... Jeremy Paxman does it now, doesn't he? Is it? But no, it's not. No, it's not. It's that newsreader bloke. It's that... talking of newsreaders... While I was working somewhere on Sunday, this bloke come up to me and asked for a record. He wasn't particularly old. And he was having a laugh with all his mates and that. And I suddenly realised how he looked like one of the newsreaders on BBC News 24. I like them. Do you like the BBC News 24 music? I love the BBC News 24 music. And I picked up the mic and I says, you look like someone off the telly. And everyone started giggling a little bit, you know. And he kind of went bright red, which I like to make people bright red, to be honest. I'm trying to find the news music. I can't find it anywhere now. Just a minute. We can have a little snatch of that, dear. Where is it now? 1 minute. There it is. There it is. There it is. The BBC News 24 music is one of the best theme musics ever written, I think. Here it is. Great, isn't it, eh? We love the BBC News 24 music. Anyway, so I mentioned this on the microphone. I said, that's right, you look like Nicholas Witchell from BBC News 24, the one who does the usual royal segments. He talks about all types of royal things, right? So I carried this on a bit. And then I said, I've got the theme music. And then he came up and complained. Oh, please, get a blooming sense of humour. These people haven't got senses of humour. You know, there's so many people who are willing to laugh at whatever's going on around them, but the moment you turn it to them, that's it, they're offended. And I always think that's very, very sad. People with no sense of humour. And there's plenty of them around, isn't there? I bet you know some as well. Quite happy to sit there and rip people apart, but the moment the spotlight's turned to them, he's complaining. So I must admit, I did lose it a little bit with him. I said, oh, look, just go away. I'm very sorry. I won't mention you again. And he said, no. I said, no, look, just go. I won't mention you again. Very sorry. Obviously, I've offended you. I'm sorry you don't have a sense of humour. And that's it. I won't mention it. He said, no, but why did you call me old? I said, what do you mean old? I said, I didn't say old once. He said, yeah, you compared me to an old man. I said, I mentioned nothing to do with his age. What has his age got to do with it? And I thought that was rather ageist of him. Anyway, as the night went on, I got a little note up. A little note was sent to me via, from the person concerned, apologising. You know, I do wish people had a sense of humour. I'm actually not into all this political correctness, you know. Most of the time, and I think you find most comedians who do unpolitically correct jokes, they are not in any way bigots or racists or anything like that. They just are turning life around and having a bit of a laugh. I mean, the only people that seem to be able to get away with it, for example, let me think. Oh, I'm a good example here. I can go anywhere and do gay jokes because I am. Right? I can go anywhere and do gay jokes. No problem. There is a drag queen that I work with who is black. She can do black jokes. But why is it that a straight man can't do gay jokes anymore without getting criticism? Why is it that a white man or woman cannot do black jokes anymore? Why is it that a white man can't do female jokes anymore, but a female can? What's all that about, eh? You know, some people have just become so sensitive, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. When I think of some of the funniest programmes ever on the telly that used to be on in the 70s, you wouldn't get away with it now. And it's a shame, because some of them were very, very funny. Very funny. Shame, innit? Anyway, back to the Vicky Gannon morning live email. But I think, Vicky, we should have letter from America every morning from Vicky Gannon. I do feel that, Vicky, in New York. News from New York with your own jingle. My clock has not restarted. Now, what's gone wrong with that? Something's gone seriously wrong with my clock. Oh, this is terrible news too. I'm going to put it next to the window. Maybe it's not receiving its signal. Just a minute. Because it's one of those radio clocks, you see. Oh, well, I'll put that there. The clocks do like a little bit of light, I feel. Anyway, back to Vicky's email. Morning, Chris. My cat Toby is also known as the criminal mastermind. An automatic cat feeder for him would need to be made of cast iron with multiple padlocks to keep him from breaking in and eating himself into oblivion. That's unusual for cats to be like that, though, isn't it? I always understood, certainly the cats I've had, will only eat as much as they need. They don't unlike dogs. You know, who will eat as much as they possibly can, won't they? I mean, to be honest, I've stood outside McDonald's and seen a few of them in there. They just stuff their faces, whatever you put down, it's eaten. Vicky says, currently, I feed him in a lovely pressed glass bowl set on a tray. That sounds... Oh, you're one of those people who dresses the cat up, aren't you? I bet you are. I bet it's got little gold chains and encrusted diamond collars. Mind you, my mum, when she was a little girl, I remember her telling me that she and her sister, Brenda, my auntie Brenda, used to dress the cat up. They did. They used to put clothes on the cat, little clothes, and how camp is that? I love it. I love it. Perhaps I wonder how my Katie would feel about perhaps putting an overcoat on in the winter or something like that, or a little scarf round her neck to stop the cold getting in. Each morning, when I open the door to the cat's bedroom, has your cat got its own bedroom? My God, you must be rolling in money, Vicky. You must have had a couple of divorces behind you to collect that sort of money. You really must. Have you? Or did you sue someone? I know that's very big in America, isn't it? Suing people. Yes. Actually, my friend Justin, he runs a pub in Hemel Hempstead where I used to work for him. And a couple of years ago, a woman, drunk, absolutely as drunk as a skunk, tripped over on his floorboards. She said her heel on one of those stiletto shoes, something which I like to point out I do not wear, okay? I don't wear women's... Just because you're gay doesn't mean you have to dress up as a woman all the time. I am quite butch. Oh, yes. I'm feeling very, very manly tonight, incidentally, or today, rather. I'm feeling extremely manly today. There's no feminine stuff here at all. We haven't got ladies' things in this house, okay? Nothing. My gay friends who come round here, very rarely, are shocked and horrified that my house is not like pristine and everything matching. We don't. I can't be done. I'm only in it. You know, I'm not in it for the fashion. Okay, really not in it for the fashion. In fact, someone in Belushis, rudely, may I say, the other day, the friend of one of my managers, Vicky, who I love very much, one of our managers. Okay. She was oh, this is Chris, he's the DJ. Oh, right, I say, oh, they said you were gay. I said, yeah, why? She said, well, what happened to the fashion sense? And I thought, how blooming rude. How rude is that? Eh? How rude is that? We don't do women's clothes anyway. There's no wigs, no stilettos, nothing like that. I'm sorry, it's not right, is it? It can't be right for a man to dress up in women's clothes unless on stage. Surely not. Oh, you do it, do you really? I mean, I do wonder which of our listeners and viewers this morning watching the show or watching a recording of the show are possibly, at this moment, wearing a pair of knickers and a bra. I'm not sure that I'm comfortable sitting here doing a show while people are wearing women's clothes, unless they're women. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that at all. Anyway, back to the email. Each morning when I open the door to his bedroom, it's got its own bedroom. The mystery is, where will I find the tray today? I have no clue how he moves it without spilling all the water. The cat moves the tray. Why does it do that? Why does the cat move its tray? It must be bored. You must buy your pussy more toys. My friend Ronnie, he's got the two little ones, isn't he? The two boys, okay? He's bought them so many toys, it's unbelievable. Every time he goes out, oh, shall I buy the cats another toy? But his cats at the moment, two little kittens, are at the stage where they keep waking him up and they attack his feet in bed. Did your cats ever do that? Oh, it hurts, doesn't it? Their little claws come out and they attack your toes if they're sticking out the bottom of the bedclothes. We love them. We love cats. We love cats. Actually, the lady who lives 6 doors away down that way, not in our little 4-block of exclusive houses, you understand. She lives on the other side of the road. You know what I mean? I mean, there's this side where I am part of, right? And there's the other side where she is, and we try not to cross the road. You know what I mean? It's a little bit like, you know, when you're on the plane. Okay, you're about to get on the plane. I can't believe it. There's someone at the door. I'm going to have to answer the door because there's probably a parcel. I'll be back in a minute after these important messages.
Hello, join me, Lee Mills, every Monday and Wednesday here on United Kingdom Radio. We'll be talking about the best topics around, such as today's birthdays and what happened on this day many years ago. So that's Mondays at 8 p.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Do join us, and don't forget. And if you do forget and you miss out, then you can catch up on the podcasts. We'll see you soon.
Hi, it's Suko. I'm wiping the slate clean. From here on in, it's a new edgier Suko. More politics, more opinions, more debates. Wait, did I say that? Well, maybe just a soupçon of edge. Soupçon, you say? Look it up. What am I, your doormat? And no more kissing up to me for parcels from New York. I don't buy it. Wait, did you say I sound sexy? Well, perhaps something small. Listen Sundays at 5 p.m. UK time.
I'm coming, just a minute. Oh, dear me. Oh, sorry about that. Well, it was exciting. It was kind of exciting because it was a man with a parcel, boys and girls. A man with a parcel, but sadly it wasn't for me. It was for my dear neighbour, David and Karen, who lived next door. Lovely people. So I've taken in. But also downstairs was a letter that has arrived for United Kingdom Talk, which I shall be reading. It's probably from Kath. I recognise the handwriting. My dear Kath, one of my dear friends in North Wales, regular correspondent to the show. We'll get to that in a minute. All right. Right, back to the message from Vicky. Vicky, you must be very impressed the way I am able to stretch out messages that last as long as possible, are you? Anyway, so this cat of hers, after she's fed it, it starts moving the cat bowl around. Yes. She says, someday I want to set up a hidden camera and see what he gets up to at night. Now, People have done that, you know. Landlords have done that in people's houses, you know. Oh, it's shocking. Do you know, someone asked me, in the properties, the little properties that I own, do I have cameras set up so that I can keep an eye on my tenants? I said, no, I do not. But I like the idea. Oh, yes. I mean, you could see while they're chipping away at that work surface in the kitchen, couldn't you, dear? You could observe them whether they've cleaned that toilet out after they've used it. Because let me tell you, there's nothing worse than a dirt. I feel ill now. Oh, there's nothing worse, is there, than going into someone's or a public toilet and you open the door and then you look down. Oh, dear. Why do people do it? And how on earth, I'm not being funny, right? How on earth do they make so much mess? I mean, if you have a little accident in the toilet, all you've got to do is flush the chain 2 or 3 times and it goes. But you've got to do it while it's still, shall we say, fresh. You know, while it's still fresh. That's when you've got to flush that chain. Nothing worse than a dirty toilet, I tell you. I've got Terry Turner on hold at the moment. I'll be with you in a second, Terry. Thank you. We have a call coming in. Oh, how exciting. Yes, she said she's going to set up a hidden camera, and then again, maybe I don't want to know. Yeah, your cat may be very, very strong. Go and set up the camera. I'm dying to know. Can you put your webcam in there on somehow and watch him on that? We'll keep listening in via the iPhone, but must turn off Skype so I can head off to work. Goodbye from Vicky. Can you listen live on the iPhone to this show? I don't know, actually. Good morning, Terry.
Morning, Chris. Talking of iPhone, I'm actually using the iPhone, walking down the high street, listening to you.
You're not... How are you doing that, then?
Oh, it's all clever technology.
That is clever. You're sounding very butch today. Have you got a sore throat, dear?
No, I haven't. No, it's just because I'm trying to talk discreetly without being noticed.
Oh, yes, yeah. Keep an eye out for anyone who's watching. You never know what's going on around you, Terry.
Well, that's right.
Are you back with us on Friday, dear? Oh, can you...
I am.
Listen.
Is that your clock or doorbell?
That is my clock. And that's very interesting because it's chimed 7 minutes too early. Which is funny because I've just been praising this clock to the skies. Because it's never... I wonder why it's done that then. I've just been praising the clock to the skies, how accurate it is. And then suddenly it goes off at the wrong time. I don't know why it's done that. Hang on. Oh, I don't know what's happening now. I'm going to have to reset it, dear. 1 minute. Let's just do that there. Hopefully. Do you like it? It's lovely, isn't it?
It sounds gorgeous.
I got that from QVC over 20 years ago.
Good Lord.
It's very accurate. It's only a plastic thing. Anyway, just ignore that at the moment because I'm hoping that I've reset that now. Anyway, Terry, where are you off to, dear?
Well, I just thought I'd have a quick look in town. I'll actually come down for a spot of breakfast.
Terry's in Huntingdonshire, aren't you?
I am indeed, yes.
Oh, you've come out for breakfast. I thought you were a bit short of money. What are you having for breakfast? Go on, tell me.
Oh, you won't be impressed. I'm afraid I'm going to be going to one of those, probably the best-known bakers in the country for their sausage rolls.
Which one's that, then?
Greg's.
Oh, Greg's. Well, of course, Greg's, when I was a little boy, they used to be called Coombs. Do you remember that or not? Is that before you?
No, I'm not that old, I'm afraid.
They were called Coombs. I don't know why. And they had exactly the same logo. And we're not quite sure. Why did it change from Coombs to Greg's? Did someone die?
I don't know. It's an interesting question, isn't it?
So, what, are you having 2 sausage rolls?
I will. Yes, I will have this morning.
You see, and how much is that? And you're going to have a cup of tea as well, I presume?
Oh, no. I saved money on that this morning. I had a cup of tea at home.
So you're just having the 2 sausage rolls?
Yes.
How much is that?
You're looking at about 75p each.
Each, so that's £1.50. For which you could have bought a whole loaf of bread and had 3 or 4 days use out of that.
Now you see, bread I tend to get from one of the supermarkets at 47p a loaf.
Well, there you go then. Even cheaper. How
tight am I with money?
So you could have had 3 loaves of bread, an entire week's food for the price of those 2 sausage rolls. Well, you people make me laugh. You really do. You complain about how little money. I have this in the clubs. You know, people who complain they've got hardly any. Oh, I've not got enough for the cab fare home. Well, get a blooming bus then, you lazy thing, or walk.
Oh,
walk.
Do you know what? There's nothing quite like having a good walk. And I tell you what I've been doing, actually. Recently, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've gone for a walk every morning so far, perhaps a half hour to an hour.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, you feel so much better for doing it.
Oh, yeah, I exercise. It's you know, I feel better now. I didn't have time to go swimming yesterday. I wasn't well yesterday. I've had this cold for a few days and a nasty cough, which is now subsiding. And the reason it's subsided is because of last night in Belushis in Hammersmith. It was so busy last night, and the air conditioning, and I got hotter and hotter. And literally, I had a shirt on similar to this one. It might have actually been. Hang on, was it this one? Oh, it was this one. Because I'm smelling under the armpits, and I'm minging today. I am actually minging, and the sweat I was so hot, and I think what's happened is I've actually sweated out the cold which I had, and the cough is much better now. So I'm quite pleased about that. Really, I wasn't very well last night.
I felt a little bit like that on Saturday. I was just not well at all, no energy. Oh, awful.
Oh, no, I had quite a lot of energy, but yes, certainly yesterday. What happened is that my friend Justin came round as well, one I was just talking about. The woman. Were you with us earlier or not?
No, I wasn't with you that early.
Oh, right. Well, he had this woman in 2 years ago, and she had stilettos on, right? And she was drunk as a skunk, right? And she says her stiletto got caught in the floorboards and she twisted her ankle.
Ooh.
Right. 2 years ago that was. Okay? So she'd done the whole claim on insurance thing and all that. How much do you think she got paid out a couple of weeks ago? How much do you think she got for that?
Hmm.
Oh, I can hear
$2,000?
geese outside. Geese.
You can.
I can
I
hear
don't know,
geese.
$2,000?
2 grand? You think £2,000, yeah?
Probably more than that, I should imagine.
£10,000.
Wow.
It put his insurance up by £1,000. And the point is, she was drunk.
Yeah.
You know, the
yeah.
point is, she was totally and utterly drunk. But no mention of that. You know, and it's just wrong how people can do that.
Not good, is it?
In this whole claim thing. Anyway, carry on, Terry. I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. What I was ringing to talk to you about this morning, I don't know if you've seen this in one of the morning papers, is a local council are threatening to take legal action against a mother and a father that have let their 7-year-old daughter walk to a bus stop on her own. She's only 7. But the bus stop is literally only 25 yards away from their home.
So they probably watch her out of the window.
They're watching her out the window, and the council have said that, you know, they're threatening to contact social services and all this, that, and the other. So it kind of opens up a whole big debate there. Should we be letting 7-year-olds have an independence?
See, I remember walking to school when we lived in Roehampton. It was quite a long walk. Or I took the bus on my own. And I'm just trying to think how old I would have been. Would I have been... What age did you start primary school?
5 or 6.
I can't remember. But if they could see her out the window, I don't have a problem with that, you know? I really don't. I mean, always you get all these people, oh, what if something happens? It's extremely unlikely. You can't wrap people in cotton wool all the time. And I actually think a lot of the time, if you try and do that, then later on in life, they haven't found out about kind of dangers and that. Do you see what I mean? Because they've always been wrapped in cotton wool or taken to school in Mummy's big Land Rover. I mean, I don't think it's good. I really don't think it's good.
No, I agree. I mean, it's not exactly like she's juggling knives across a dual carriageway, is it?
No. I mean, 25 yards from the house, bus stop on the same side of the road. Children have got to learn at some point, haven't they?
They have.
Terry, Wayne has written in here, Baker's Oven uses Greggs too. They're gorgeous. Did you know that? Baker's Oven?
Oh, really?
I've heard of the Baker's Oven. There is a shop near me now. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. It's
most important
crust.
you remember the name, so they send you freebies.
No, I get no freebies, so it doesn't matter really. The oven, the baker, but it might be the Baker's Oven. But they do these pasties, rather nice vegetable pasties, cheese and veg pasties. But they're like £2 for a pasty, dear. £2 for one pasty, and I don't care if they are large. You know, £2 for a pasty is a bit much. I think a fair price, and you're quite right. Greggs, they do pasties, and they're fair. I think £1.50 for 2. Is that right?
Something like that, I believe.
£1.50 for 2. Got to admit, does seem to be more pastry than anything else, but they are delicious.
Very, very nice indeed.
Yes.
And there's obviously something in them, just that little bit of something. It's like everywhere you go, though, isn't it? The same, you know, McDonald's is exactly the same, Greggs is exactly the same, everywhere you go. Yeah. And there's just that little ingredient that gets you back for more.
Oh, yeah. You know, it does make me wonder what is actually in a sausage roll. I think you probably don't want to know that. I don't know why. Why do we like them? They're delicious. Absolutely delicious. It's got to be the texture and the taste and all that business. What is it that makes us love sausage rolls? They're so nice, aren't they? They are so nice.
They are. Oh, they are. Absolutely delicious.
Wayne reckons, I think it's a pinch of salt and black pepper in the sausage rolls. That's what makes them taste. I don't know what it is, but they are absolutely good. You very rarely, and there's nothing worse, is there, than going to a wedding reception, right? And there's no sausage rolls, dear.
I know.
They have a sit-down meal. I mean, what's all that about? Please. We don't
They've got to keep the buffets in there just for us mobile DJs.
We need a buffet, sausage rolls and crisps, and of course that great big bowl of salmonella, I mean coleslaw, in the middle of the table that everyone's dipped their nasty, dirty little fingers into. Lovely to talk to you, Terry. Are you with us on Friday?
I am with you on Friday, thankfully.
What's in the show? Do you know?
I shall be using the same technology in which I'm speaking to you right now. So, in other words, I shall be using the iPhone.
Oh, right, yeah. What, to do the whole show?
Yeah. I should be connecting with Travis, and he'll be taking the show or leading the show. So, it'll be an interesting one. Yeah. I think we're talking about X Factor because there's a big hoo-ha about that not happening next year. There's rumours of Big Brother returning on Channel 5 and all sorts of things.
And then when can we hear your show here on UnitedKingdomRadio.co.uk?
Friday evening from 8 p.m. UK time.
8 o'clock UK time. Thank you, Terry, for the call.
Thank you, Chris. Have a good day. I'll get a sausage roll for you.
Enjoy your sausage roll. Cool, dude. He's going to stuff his face now. It's not fair, is it? I could do with a sausage roll now, to be honest. Righty-ho. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. I'm going up to my sister's. Oh, let me see. What's the time? No, we need to go to emails. We need to go to emails because we're chatting away here, aren't we? Hello to Toby, a young man. We haven't heard from Toby for a long time. Toby is in Japan. Hello, Toby, who says, I think, hello, this is Toby from Japan. I think I do have been dead a long time in the United Kingdom talk. Now, remember, Toby's in Japan, is learning English, so sometimes it sounds a bit strange, but you can work out what he's saying. We're no problem with that at all, Toby, all right? He says, but I am with the show, and I have heard you call my name several times. Now I'm hearing your October 2009 shows. My God, you're nearly a year behind. So when are you going to hear this email? You're a whole year behind, Toby. He says, I finished my undergraduate degree at last this March. I'm 27 years old. My first university was in Hong Kong when I was 19, where I used to run the British education system. I studied computer engineering. When I was 20, I joined the exchange program at my university and went to the University of Minnesota in the United States. I was so eager to study in the US because at the time Hong Kong was returned to China from Britain, and so I was worried about my future. I want to move out of Hong Kong. I didn't want to live under the Chinese governance. I was really thinking about immigrating to the United States because it was the top country in the world. I have now lived in the US for 2 years, 3 cities, Minnesota, San Diego and Seattle. I found the American life really didn't suit me, such as, 1, I didn't feel secure walking the streets. There were a lot of homeless people begging, and I have been robbed once. Police have guns. You could be shot at any moment. He says, one time there was a shoot down my apartment. Police closed the block when I was going back home. I feared if the gunman would shoot me. You can't really go out after 6 o'clock. He says, I mean, walking on the streets at night is really dangerous in the US. Now, this is interesting, this. Any of our American friends want to reply to this, please use the email and I'll bring it up in the next show, okay? My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. He says everything's size in the US is huge. If I try and find some clothes at any department store, and if the S, the small size, was too large for me, that model was opted out no matter how much I like the pattern or the cutting. And you know the size of a drink at the fast food shops. I think if you have finished the drink, you don't need the food. Yeah, I mean, I've been to the US several times. Love it. I love it. But yeah, you're quite right. The size of some of these drinks is enormous. I mean, you know, they're all... The small ones just seem to me to be giant sized, don't they? Number 3. The country is huge and you must drive in the US. You can't put up standing and waiting for 30 minutes or 1 hour for the next ride on the bus or train. And if you miss your last bus at 8 o'clock, hitchhiking is probably your only option. Going out in the US is really inconvenient for non-driving people. I hate driving because it gives me stress. I hate creating any accidents. Toby also says, I felt I was differentiated in the US, not discriminated, differentiated because of my skin colour. There are not many Asians in the US, so I did feel I was an alien. That is by sight from people, you know, he looks different. I don't know how to explain to you if you have never experienced this. Especially I was an Asian. I feel I was looked down. And I heard some comments that American girls think that all Asian men are gay. Do you think that? No. He says, although I like both boys and girls. So no girl was interested in me. No one wanted me. He says, I think American people are quite rude. They like burping in front of people. Let me tell you, there's plenty of English people like that. But and they think it's funny. They think it's hilarious to burp in front of your face. And it's not. It's not funny at all. Not funny at all. There's plenty. He says, my roommate, he just didn't care. And one of my best friends, he likes to burp loudly on purpose. It's awful, isn't it? Awful. I think he considers it's friendly to burp in front of me. What do you think? I think it's disgusting. I do. Do British people also like to burp in front of people? Well, yeah, there are a few around, I'm afraid. But I'm proud to say I'm not one of them. You know, sometimes you're accidentally in conversation and one can accidentally slip out your mouth, can't it? You know. But I do try to hold them in. Or do it quietly so that people... I think it's awful, burping. Burping like... Bleh, bleh. Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? Horrible. Or because they look down at me and don't give me respect. Yeah, that's the other thing, I think, you know. I think when you burp in front of someone, you are... That is a lack of respect for the person in front of you. I do believe that. Yeah. He says, so 5 years ago, I moved to Japan. And I went to my 3rd university. I chose English as my subject because I don't need to study. You can't believe how childish are the Japanese unis. I thought I was going to a secondary school. They have chimes alarming before and after every class. Students just don't do anything. They are only interesting, when you say that, they don't do anything outside of their studies, right? Okay. They are only interested in finishing a degree and getting a job. They are not interested in politics or the outside world. Well, I just thought to pay the school fees and get my visa staying in Japan. But I don't know if I want to live here anymore. There are some other problems here I will share with you next time. Yeah, please do. I have worked 2 jobs and work really hard. That's why I haven't had time to write to you. Sorry about that. That's all right. You write to me when you have the time. Don't worry about little me sitting here lonely on my own. My current job is translation. I translate Japanese into English, although I'm not a native English speaker. I have found so many technical problems in translating because Japanese is a very obscure language. And Japanese writers don't care readers cannot understand what they write. What's in their minds when they are writing is you know what I'm talking about. Do you see what I mean? So it would, you kind of write a paragraph, and then it would be assumed that the reader knows what they're talking about. A lot of times, a Japanese word groups a huge area of things that doesn't fit into English. For example, norimono means whatever you ride on or use for transport. You can't translate norimono into vehicles because animals, such as horses and cows, are norimonodes too. But they are doing an exhibition of norimono at the museum. So what English title can you put for that? It's really impossible. That must be really hard to learn Japanese. For an English person to learn Japanese, or indeed a Japanese person to learn English. That must be really hard. I think it's time for me to go now. I may want to talk some serious subject next time, if you don't mind, and that's from Toby. Thank you, Toby. Lovely to hear from you after such a long time. Don't be a stranger, Send them through. Send them through. I'm always pleased to read out some emails. How are we doing on time? We've got a couple of minutes left. Just quickly then, a quick couple of emails from Ian, who kindly let us know that the iTunes wasn't working. iTunes is now working now. Okay, so if you want to subscribe to the shows, go to UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk and you'll find an iTunes subscription button there for my show. Or for all the shows on United Kingdom Radio, go to unitedkingdomradio.co.uk and click the iTunes subscribe button on that site there, all right? Now, we were talking about iPads on the show on Saturday, and Ian writes, e-reader on the iPad. We were talking about, reading a book on the iPad. What's that like? And Ian says, Chris, it's not really all that bad reading a book on the iPad. You can bookmark off where you left off. You can read the print as black and white as normal, or you can reverse it to read white on black. You can change the print size if your eyes are getting old and you need a larger typeface. Now, I like that idea. You can change the luminosity by changing the brightness on the bar at the bottom. Real corks in wine bottles are disappearing. Oh, this is another subject. Sorry, I'm rushing away here. Real corks in wine bottles are disappearing. They are being replaced with synthetic corks or screw tops. Just as these changes are being made in the wine industry, so changes are coming in the book industry. Schools all over the United States are now replacing textbooks with iPads. Did you know that? Can you imagine lugging around an 800-page algebra book as compared to carrying around a £1 iPad? Well, I know what you mean, yeah, but there's something very special about holding a book. I don't care what you say. Anyway, I did get a letter in as well that looks like it's come from Wales, but I've run out of time on this particular show, okay, so I'll have to tell you again on Thursday, boys and girls. Now, later on, it's just coming up to 12 o'clock UK time here in the UK. At 1 o'clock UK time here on United Kingdom Radio, do join Mike Cullen for his afternoon show today. Okay, so that's in an hour's time here on United Kingdom Radio. Mike Cullen. Time for me to go. I'll be back with you again live on Thursday morning at 11 o'clock UK time at unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. You can send an email. Anything we've talked about today, I'll bring it up on the next show. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you soon. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.